Parents strongly caution, the following programs are intended for mature audiences over the age of 18. These programs may contain some material that many parents would not find suitable for children and may include intense violence, sexual situations, coarse language, and suggestive dialogue.
I don't know if it's just on my end, but I don't hear any audio coming through for you, bro.
Check.
Yeah, I hear you now.
All right, guess what, guys? I apologize. I have been sitting here talking with the mic not on. So
Yeah, I thought to tell you earlier.
yeah, well, guess what, guys? Welcome to Absolute Hysteria. Once again, you didn't hear me the first time. I apologize. This is episode 1, Absolute Hysteria, with your boy Easy 606. Like I said before, which y'all couldn't hear, the episode was originally scheduled to be a little different, so we had to make some changes. It's going to be more of a pilot episode. It's going to let y'all know kind of what the show is going to be like, what to expect in the future. Each week we'll have different guests on. Some may be the same, some may be different. Some you might know, some you will know. You know, we're going to roll with it. Each week's going to be a little different. We're going to talk about different subjects, very open variety of subjects. I like to keep it, I like to keep people on their toes. So this week I got my brother Kincaid with me. How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Shit,
I loved your mom act.
My what?
Your mom act, like you was, since you're training
yeah.
to be a professional mom.
Exactly. Man, I can't believe I totally just did not hit that little button right there. Good thing I brought you in early and I didn't sit here for 10 minutes talking, right?
Yeah, it's been kind of awkward. Everybody been like, "Hey, bro, we can't hear you."
Well, what the hell? Shout out to, I see some people might have to tune in. We're having difficulties with the the Facebook again. Once again, just like the wrestling podcast, I don't think this is showing up on Facebook unless you go the little invite link I sent out earlier. Unless you click on that, I don't think you're able to watch it because it makes everything private. So anybody checking it out or wanting to check it out, make sure y'all go to YouTube and you can chat and send messages, and I can see all that on the spot. But as of Facebook, for this episode at least, I guess it's not going to show up on Facebook until it's over. So unfortunately, the Facebook family will have to catch the replay or the video. Huh?
Blame Zuckerberg. It's always going to be Zuckerberg's fault.
Exactly. I don't know what happened, man. Like when I did the podcast previously, and you know, before the break, you used to be able just to shit. People trying to call when I know I'm on a podcast. Okay.
Well, you should have muted your phone.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I got it muted. I seen them pop up on my shit. Well, basically, you used to be able to click the button and where you want to broadcast from, and then it would send it there, and the video would pop up, and people can watch it from wherever they're at. But apparently, over the year I haven't used this program, it's changed. I don't know how. I have to do some research on it, but yeah, the shit's.
I always say it's for the better, even though it makes things worse.
Yeah. Luckily, they didn't change YouTube. You can still go to YouTube and go to my channel, and it shows that I'm live. So everybody can tune in from YouTube and chat and conversate and all that. And they'll be able to do that on Facebook very soon. I promise you I'll get this fixed.
Facebookers, we are coming soon.
Exactly. But, so, as of the different types of things we're going to do on the show, we're going to have different topics each week. We're going to do news segments each week where we talk about some shit that I see throughout the week that I think might be interesting or worthy to talk about. People might enjoy hearing different perspectives about. And this week is the first week, and we got some news. So, you know what that means? Dun, 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 dun. We got the breaking news, guys. We got the breaking news. Unfortunately, there was no audio behind that. I didn't know that there was no audio on that. So that one, I'll have to fix that one as well, because that would be odd with no audio behind it. Awesome.
You hyped that up super epic to have no audio.
It's like, I guess I can make my own audio music, but yeah.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
With Eden 606.
Good evening. So, first thing we're going to talk about this week is 50 Cent. Everybody knows that man needs no introduction. 50 Cent goes on Big Boy's Neighborhood for a podcast this week. I tuned in, checked it out. Very interesting podcast. He dropped two little jewels that I thought was hella dope. Number one, somebody asked him if he was working on any new shows other than Power, and he let us know that he has two shows that he is currently working on. One of them's already in production. The other is, I think, he's waiting on some contracts or something like that. But the 8 Mile TV series is in production.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he said Marshall's on board and everything's been discussed, and they're talking about, for the first season, they're going to do like a pre-8 Mile, like a prelude, I guess you would say.
Life of B Rabbit.
Yeah, the life of a young B Rabbit. See, I would assume that they would have did after 8 Mile, but you know, maybe that's to come. Maybe they will. Maybe they will touch on that.
It might be a build up for it.
Yeah, exactly. Because everybody, you know, when they end of that movie and he's walking off and he throws up the deuces, and I mean, you kind of know what happens to him, but then again, it'd be interesting to see though. Like I'd enjoy it.
Yeah, I'd watch it.
for sure, especially with if he's doing the acting. I mean, I'm sure he's going to be involved. I don't know if he's going to. Oh, of course, he's not going to be able to do the young parts, but he'll be hands on with 50 Cent, like as far as writing and directing, I assume. And the other movie or the other show was Murder Was the Case, a Snoop Dogg show surrounding, the murder, the Snoop Dogg murder thing. You know what I mean?
The security guard shooting.
Yeah. So that'll
It'd
actually
be interesting to see how he handles it.
Exactly. I love anything that 50's produced so far. I've loved all the power shows are dope. I really enjoyed, all the different books of that show. He did a hell of a good part. He actually played good parts in the show too. His role with Kanan.
Oh yeah, Kanan was dope. Original. It was something fresh for sure, especially in the gangster / hip hop TV series and movies. Like he gave us something different, a little bit original.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I was actually always waiting to see, because I know at one point in time he had discussed doing a Get Rich or Die Trying, another one, like a second one. And I'd always wondered how that would go, but I mean, I've never heard any more about it since he discussed that years ago. I think he kind of got into the whole power thing and just left it alone. But yeah, man, 50 Cent working on 2 new shows. 8 Mile, Murder Was the Case. So if you're interested in those, man, stay tuned. Be watching out for more announcements, because he says that the production of 8 Mile has already began. So I think that's going to be the first one he drops. In other news, O.J. Simpson dies. Bom, bom, bom. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There is no memorials being held in this camp. No,
it's always gonna be fuck that guy.
I guess you get what you deserve, right? Poor. There's
Hell is not freezing over.
There's a lot of memes that are going around that were fucking hilarious that I've seen. Yeah, the juice is dead finally, I guess.
The juice has been squeezed.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
He's gone. Here's an interesting one. Here's a good one that I think you might have something to say about this one. So, my boy, my brother from another, y'all may know the award-winning, let me pull it up here, JellyRoll is being sued for his name by a 80s wedding band right here by the name of JellyRoll. My banner is kind of cutting off their name. But this group of fellas right here are suing JellyRoll for the name JellyRoll because they stated that they have been using that name since the 80s doing wedding bands around Philadelphia, the Philadelphia area. So they sent, they tried to contact Jelly, and I guess they were just kind of blown off. So they sent a cease and desist, and they quoted that they're upset because they can no longer be found in search engines, because when you go search JellyRoll, the first 100 pages are JellyRoll, and they're upset by this. Really, I think they're butthurt because he took the name and he ran with it and he became uber successful. Good luck with getting this man to change his name. That's all I gotta say. He's got money now, so I assume that his lawyers will be on that very quickly.
Well, if they got a copyright, he'll end up having to pay something. I mean,
I'm sure he will.
Really, at the end of the day, who has the copyright for it.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. If I'm to be quite honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they just didn't offer him a little change, like a little settlement. Like here, we'll buy
Take him
the
on
name.
tour.
Well, that would probably change their lives. I mean, these dudes are just some average dudes that have been playing weddings and shit since the 80s.
Well, but like Connie said, though, they've been doing it since the 80s. Jelly's been around since MySpace era. Like, I mean, so where was the big outrage? I mean, when Whiskey, Weed, and Waffle House, when he was being sued and made take all that down and all that drama was going on with that, where was their outrage then? Because he was just some broke white dude from Tennessee that wasn't making any noise. Now that he's, got a few $100 million probably in the bank somewhere and, tied up in property or whatever it is, they want a chunk of that. I mean, is that the issue at hand?
Exactly. It's what happens to every celebrity. It's this whole thing that always happens. When you're a nobody and you're not doing as well, nobody gives a shit. But as soon as you get up to that level to where they think you've got something to gain, everybody wants to come out like, it's my name. I have that name since the 80s. Well, you didn't do nothing with it. This guy is now multi fucking platinum, award winning, Grammy nominated. Sit down. Just sit down.
All right. I agree.
Take your paycheck and sit down. Because it's, you're all sitting there making all this big commotion, and I doubt his lawyers are even going to make it last that long. Like I said, they'll probably settle out of court.
They'll probably settle for like $10,000, especially, since nobody had heard of them since they started making a ruckus about it anyway.
Yeah, no doubt. What's up, Dale Whitler? I see you on there, buddy. How you doing?
Oh, Dale, what's up, buddy?
Dale's in the building.
You showed up in the comments.
Yes, sir. So after the whole jelly thing, we'll move on. Let's go on to Chucky. Anybody who's a fan of the Chucky TV series on Peacock, you may have noticed at like episode 4 of season 3, it kind of stopped because of the writer's strike that happened. So they completely stopped the series, which I was completely pissed off because I kept looking for it and couldn't figure out what was going on. And then come to find out that the writer's strike, they halted everything. So now it's back. I believe that a couple episodes have aired since it came back, maybe 1 or 2. So if you're a Chucky fan and you haven't checked out this series, please do. One of the best things on TV today, in my opinion.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah, it's not just for the horror fans, man. It's got a little bit of everything. Like it really taps into a wide array of people.
Yeah, it definitely gives you a few genres in one with the TV series. I mean, you have the different levels of romance that you see the characters involve themselves into, and it really evolves the backstories of the characters, which I appreciate, and all the way down to everybody in their family is and can be victims. So I mean, it really made it an interesting watch.
Yeah, and no spoilers, man. There was a lot of dope cameos in the show, like people who popped up that were involved in the show. So I really enjoyed seeing that. But yeah, so any of you Chucky fans out there, I hope you're happy because season 3 part 2 is now rolling again. All right. You know what? I really enjoy seeing you guys. You beautiful people. No Diddy.
We are safe from Diddy today.
Yeah. So as part of this show, anytime somebody says something a little sus, you're going to see this. No
Diddy.
No doubt. Yeah. And we can
Diddy, no mouth.
We could touch a little bit on that. The Diddy allegations are getting crazier by the day. People are coming out of the woodwork. A lot of rappers are trying to save their careers and trying to and trying to save face and the whole thing. I guess Jadakiss did an interview and was like, "Look, I didn't party with that fool. Like, I don't. There wasn't nothing going on there. Like, everybody's seen Meek Mill come out and they're talking about
Meek Mill just needs to come out.
Man, people been looking at him sus for a while even before the whole P. Diddy thing.
Oh yeah, some of the comments he made, like, man, somebody take that man's Twitter away from him.
Man, I be seeing all these things on the internet, this Diddy stuff and all these questionable lyrics and shit now that you're listening to, and I'm just sitting here thinking, like, damn, was he?
Yeah, what did you do? Yeah, what did you do with Diddy when you was with him, Boosie?
Oh, exactly. Then they played I was watching a meme today and they played the lyrics of that one B.I.G. song.
Come on now.
About kidnapping kids and fucking them in the ass and tossing them off the bridge. Like, really? What the fuck was going on? What are y'all talking about?
Yeah. Baby.
I don't know, man. The whole Diddy shit is just mind-blowing, to tell you the truth.
I think there's going to be a lot to come out. Like, once they put Diddy in the corner and really get enough on him and nail him to it, I think he's going to flip it on everybody. And like, I really think your A-list celebrity list that of people you actually respect is going to be null. Because, I mean, it's going to come down to you're going to find out so many people are into very questionable things. I mean, you already had the whole Epstein thing with all the celebrities on the island, which, the said guy was involved with that, supposedly. So, I mean, you're going to find out a lot because what are they saying? That he had like massive amounts of footage on like all kinds of different famous people from like Jay-Z all the way down to Meek Mills.
Yeah. They're saying like the shit's coming out left and right. Usher, like I say, him and Usher had a thing. Him and Meek Mill had a thing.
What he did, a little Bieber.
Bieber's been drug into it. Like there was a clip of him meeting P. Diddy right after the allegation shit. P. Diddy met him somewhere and they hugged and they embraced for a minute. And P. Diddy said something to him and Bieber kind of had this weird look and walked back and got in his SUV. Like, I think P. Diddy basically whispered to him, like, hey, you ain't gonna say shit.
Man, I hope like I said, I hope they start going after other celebrities too. Because I mean, if you've watched the Lil Wayne documentary where he was talking about, baby setting him up to have sex when he was like 13 years old and he didn't know what he was doing or nor wanting to, and pretty much like having grown women come in there and rape this child, man. Like, and then everybody wonders why this dude's messed up, later in life. I mean, hopefully they start going after everybody and not just the head of the snake, because removing it doesn't remove all the problems.
I'm wondering if MGK was safe. Did he fuck with it? Did MGK take it?
Boy, he walked that cheesecake right to Diddy's house and got on his knees.
Man. But here's the funny thing. Now I understand things, because back in the day, I always wondered with Mace. I was like, man, what did they do that drove Mace to run? That Mace ran. He went Christian. Like, he ran the fuck out. He
turned into a preacher.
Yeah. And I always thought it was because of the Big thing. I always thought that he really knew what happened to Big and didn't.
Which is still plausible.
Yeah. I always thought that was a part of it, but now it's making sense. He just he didn't want no part of that homo or that Diddy shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to watch them cancel words, brother.
Exactly. Yeah, he didn't want part of that Diddy shit.
He didn't want to get diddled.
No.
He wanted out of that contract.
Exactly. And he ran the hell out. And now there's memes of him, like there's pictures of Diddy and there's pictures of Mace like laughing. Mace is like, that's why I ran, fool. I'm waiting on all these interviews to come out, man, because these people are popping up left and right. LeBron James has got a video where he's like, ain't nothing like a Diddy party. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, it was so good. He lost his hairline for it.
Bro. Say it ain't so, LeBron. Say it ain't so. It's like Kevin Hart. We talked about this off cam the other night, just like Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart's now being mentioned in this whole thing, and that breaks my heart. Like, not
Yeah, you know. I mean, like you said though. I mean, even with Diddy, we still have to wait until there's actual 100%, you know, evidence that can really tie him into anything. Because right now, I mean, dude, unless he's an informant, you know, because I mean, informants are allowed to do all kinds of crazy stuff as long as they're not murdering somebody. I mean, they let you get away with, you know, trafficking, everything, you know, like humans to dope, and they don't arrest you for it. So I mean, unless that guy's an informant, why ain't they, you know, went in and arrested him yet? That's my whole question about the situation.
Yeah, your facts, man. They
I mean, they hit all of his houses, took all of his electronics. I mean, and didn't find nothing.
Yeah, they pulled his kids out the house and everything, man. Like they went in and went at it.
Or they're building one hell of a RICO case.
It just makes sense. There's so much about Diddy that I've been saying for years. Like, you know, ever since Keefe D got snatched up, man, Diddy's been in trouble. Like Diddy's been a target since Keefe D went in, because Keefe's, you know, obviously stated that Diddy, you know, offered them money to knock out Big Empire.
I mean, there's a lot of evidence that points to Snoop about getting Pac hit though.
Yeah. There's also a lot of drama going around Puffy, because you ever noticed that anybody that really got close to Puff is gone now. You know,
Same with Hov.
Yeah. I just saw something about that today. That was very interesting. Some stuff
I told you about that a while back.
Yeah. I watched the video today though that was talking about some stuff about Jay-Z. Like,
I mean, you look, man, he was always in pictures with Big and everything, and then, you know, when Diddy started rocking with Hov, all of a sudden, you know, Biggie's got to go. It's like they're sacrificing people for real, man. And I mean, it's wild to think about, like, what these people are actually doing for fame, or to be the next one. They got to get rid of somebody in order to take that starlight from them.
And it's crazy to see, like, a lot of things make sense, man. Like, now that you look back on shit, like, a lot of things make sense. Because it's funny how some of these people they just go out of nowhere, like, no, unexpected. You know what I mean? No real problems, but
it is wild, brother. That's for sure.
All right, so those were the tales of the Diddler from this week. That'll be your news segment. I appreciate y'all for checking
Tales
out
from the Diddler.
Tales from the Diddler. We'll check back in on the Diddler next week's show. But we're gonna go take a little commercial break, and I'm gonna run this little commercial. And this commercial is actually made by the gentleman on the screen with me right now. My brother Kincaid made this little commercial, so I want y'all to check it out and enjoy.
Yeah.
Man, what the fuck is wrong with this TV?
I pray it over and over again. Father, forgive me for all of my sins before this pain consumes my soul. This is not how my story ends. I've been begging and begging you, please take this pain away from me. Grant my heart eternal peace and watch my enemies bleed. I pray it over and over again. Father, forgive me for all of my sins before this pain consumes my soul. This is not how my story ends. I've been begging and begging you, please take this pain away from me. Grant my heart eternal peace and watch my enemies bleed.
Yes, sir. So, what y'all think about that? Let me know. Sound off. I uploaded that bad boy to YouTube the other night. So if you can check it, share it around for me. Let everybody know that white noise is coming from yours truly. And the song that you heard in the commercial was the first single off of that album called Forgiveness, which is also available on YouTube and all digital major platforms.
Y'all need to stream it, because how long has it been since you've actually dropped a solo single?
A solo single? It's been a little while. It's been about a year or so, maybe 2 years. But a solo album, this will be my first solo album since 2017.
It's a long while.
Yeah, because everything from then was, I did a few little compilation CDs with the my label, Rare Breed at that time, and then I ran right from that to Sinister Minded and the Sick Trinity stuff, and now it's time to put out another solo thing, another solo John.
Absolutely.
But so man, a lot of people that tune into the show, a lot of people that follow me know that we're big wrestling nerds. So I'm gonna cut into a little wrestling segment this week. Last week was the infamous WrestleMania. We had, well, you can't see it there. This is the background. I thought I had it on the pic. Fail. But anyway, WrestleMania was last week. WrestleMania 40, WrestleMania XL last Saturday and Sunday. We did a prediction show, which you can also find on YouTube. And it was a very good prediction show. We got a lot of wide array of predictions. I think I ended up coming up like, I think there was, I'm trying to think of how many matches there was on each night. I think there was like 7 and 6. I think it was like 13 matches. So I was like 11 and 2.
I didn't do very good on night 1.
Yeah, you had a few. Night 2 you did pretty well. Night 1 was, in a lot of people's eyes, night 1 didn't live up to the hype. I think I gave night 1 like a B-. It was good, but it didn't live up to the hype whatsoever. It wasn't what I was expecting. Like, I expected they blew this up to be the biggest. Well, I'll get to that in a second, but they blew this up to be the biggest WrestleMania. So I figured that they meant like show-wise, talent-wise, they were going to go overboard for everything. And that wasn't the case. It was solid, very good, solid matches. Of course, the headlining of that night was the tag team match, Roman and The Rock versus Seth and Cody for the stipulations for the following night, which we got to see pretty one-sided victory, I guess you would say, because The Rock really showed his authority in that match.
Yeah, that he did.
The Rock basically looked at the referee at multiple times and points and told him, hey, you count this out and you're fired. Like, don't fuck with me. I'm The Rock. I don't put up with this shit. Poor referee didn't know what the hell was going on. So easily to say everybody knew what the outcome of that match was going to be.
Yeah, there was no arguing that one. We knew where it was going.
There definitely was no argument on that one. I think the runner-up to me for that was the Rhea Ripley Becky Lynch match. Rhea Ripley's debut was fantastic with Motionless in White. Like, one of my favorite entrances of WrestleMania, period.
Yeah, it was a very, very good intro when she came out.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
And her and Becky Lynch, gave each other all they had. Becky actually was sick that match. She had been fighting, was it strep throat or something the entire week. She had temperatures of 102 degrees up till the day of WrestleMania. So you could kind of see on her face that she wasn't all there, but she went out there and was a soldier and gave it what she had, man.
That's what it's about, is the heart that you bring.
Exactly. Put on a hell of a good show. So then we go into night 2, with the main match being set up with the Roman and Cody. Night 2 was much better. Much better. A couple more surprises. You know, it was a lot better of a show. I think I gave it like a B plus. The Ace cash in after Drew McIntyre had beat Seth Rollins, a beaten down and battered Seth Rollins. Old Drew McIntyre beats him, gets the belt. Instead of taking his dumb ass to the back and keeping his belt intact, he decides to go out and taunt CM Punk, which is that commentary.
Yeah, you had to love it.
Exactly. CM Punk pretty much told him, like, look, bro, like, you just get out of my face and go to the back. Like, you don't want this.
CM Punk sucks.
Oh, yeah. We don't need your opinion, miss.
Miss Negative in there.
So, Punk is up, you know, flipping his legs out from underneath of him and hitting him with the cast and kind of knocking the shit out of him. Then the music hits. Here comes Damian Priest with the Money in the Bank. Damian Priest then cracks him with the briefcase, throws him in the ring, hits the south of heaven, and 1, 2, 3, we have a brand new champion.
Yeah, that was my idea setup that was going to happen. I figured that Priest was going to cash in on that match. It didn't happen at the match, but I mean shortly after, so I took it. Yeah,
exactly. Hell of an exciting thing to happen, man. It definitely amped it up a little bit, and it planted the seeds for that whole CM Punk return for CM Punk and Drew McIntyre.
That's gonna be a fun one.
Oh, no doubt. And then, well, I'll get to that in a minute. But then we had the main event, of course. Pretty much everybody predicted that one as well. You know, Cody had to finish the story because if he didn't, he would no longer be credible.
Right.
You're not gonna make this man win 2 Royal Rumbles, go to the main event 2 years in a row, have all this press coverage, have all this shit happen to him, and then him lose 2 years in a row. There's no coming back from that.
I mean, and with the shape that Roman was in, I mean, we could pretty much depict what was going to happen there anyway.
Yeah, Roman needed a break. You know, to be honest.
The medicine's tearing him up, man.
A lot of people would argue with that. Well, he doesn't wrestle that much. Well, he's also got leukemia.
Yeah, and he's taking more meds than the average human being's supposed to, and still going in there and trying to entertain you, whether it's on the mic giving you great commentary or, you know, pushing other wrestlers. I mean, come on. I mean, what do you expect somebody that's that sick to really do out here?
Yeah, no doubt. Man. So we kind of had a feeling how that was going to go. I thought there was going to be a lot more returns or comebacks on that, but I mean, we pretty much called the majority of them except the Undertaker.
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming. Honestly, that kind of threw me for a loop. I wanted to, if I could, I would have replaced the Undertaker with Stone Cold. Just saying.
That's what it had. That's what the story was supposed to be. The Undertaker. Well, something happened with Austin. He couldn't make it. So they replaced him with the Undertaker. That's already been leaked out. Because it caught a lot of people off guard. Like, what the hell, the Undertaker? Why the Undertaker? You know, because it didn't follow the story.
Yeah, it was awkward. I mean, but it does fill in the gaps of, you know, the Undertaker going to make a return every single year at WrestleMania. So I mean, it's not too out of character. I mean, it was just weird to, you know, bring him into that storyline.
Yeah, no doubt. Like the whole title storyline. But yeah, so Cody ended up taking the dub, man. He fought through the adversity. You know, the Undertaker took The Rock out of the picture. Then that music hit. Seth Rollins comes down, and we think everybody in their mind thinks it's Dean Ambrose or John Moxley coming back.
I did,
you know,
for sure.
Here comes Rollins running in. He gets Superman punched and taken out before he even got to do anything. And Cody Rhodes picks up the victory and finishes the story. A lot of people was happy about that. My man right here.
It was a heartfelt moment. I mean, especially when all the wrestlers filled the ring and really showed, gratitude for that story and everything that those wrestlers gave. Man, it was good how it ended and how everything came together in that ring.
Yes, hey, no doubt, man. It was a really good sentiment, man. And then
Especially when they started talking about his dad, and I mean, it was a good moment.
And then what happened after the event? They had the press conference, and Triple H kind of told everybody, what had happened behind the scenes. Triple H, Bruce Pritchard, and Nick Khan gave Cody a little gift, which happened to be the exact Rolex that his father had pawned to put Cody through acting school. They went and tracked down the same exact Rolex that Dusty had pawned, and they gave.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they gave it to him as a congratulations present. So he was wearing it. He was actually wearing it at the press conference. So that leads up to the following Monday on Raw, which was total lackluster. Like, I was so excited for that Raw because the Raw after Mania is usually the best Raw of the year.
That it is.
And it did not live up to that hype. Like, Cody came out, of course, talked about, him achieving victory, and The Rock came out and they had their little showdown, and The Rock basically told him that, hey, I'm leaving for a while. I have stuff I have to take care of, but I'm coming for you when I get back. Like, so basically hold that belt for me until I get back. And The Rock did some very questionable shit in that interview. A lot of people didn't understand. The crowd actually started chanting, "This is awkward," because there was some real weird stuff going on towards the end. The Rock wanted to hold the belt, and Cody wanted to hold his belt, the People's Champion belt, and it was kind of awkward. But and then The Rock said he had a gift for Cody, and he pulled out something out of his pocket, and it was in the palm of his hand, and he slipped it in Cody's hand. You couldn't see what it was. Cody didn't look at it or nothing, and The Rock said, "You don't even have to look at that. You know what it is." And The Rock made the comment, "You better not break my heart again." And everybody was stumped, like, what the fuck is he talking about? And speculations have been running wild. Old Bully Ray from the Dudleys, I watched his podcast, and he thinks that he handed him the Rolex, but The Rock had broken the Rolex. I don't know if I agree with that. It could be, because it would fit in the palm of his hand.
It just don't make no sense.
But yeah, because if Cody had felt that watch and felt it was broken, he would have fucking snapped.
Oh yeah, he would have took off on him.
Oh yeah, he would have snapped or cried or something, but he didn't. He looked shocked. A lot of people also said it could have been Dusty's Hall of Fame ring.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
And then because Cody did kind of look confused, like, well, why do you have this? I think that Dusty might have gave The Rock his Hall of Fame ring. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But it's all gonna play out in the end, of course.
Yeah, we just gotta wait.
Yeah, that was probably one of the better moments of Raw. And then, of course, they had a a little match, a 4-way match for the #1 contendership to Damian Priest at the next pay-per-view. It was like Jey Uso, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, and somebody else.
I'd love to see Ricochet really get a push.
Ricochet did pretty good in that match, but of course, it came down to CM Punk and not CM Punk, but it came down to Jay and Drew McIntyre, and we all figured that CM Punk was going to. I figured that as soon as McIntyre went to Claymore, CM Punk's music would hit, but it didn't. CM Punk just kind of popped up and grabbed his leg to stop him from Claymore, and then Jey Uso hit him with the super kick and the splash, and Jey Uso became the #1 contender for Damian's belt at the next pay-per-view in France. So now the question is,
which I said he was going to get a belt run,
but if he does, it's only going to be for a month. You know, because you've got Clash of the Castle coming up in June or July. Clash of the Castle in Wales. It's already been stated, like it is pretty much guaranteed that Drew McIntyre is going to win the belt at that event because it's his home country.
Yeah, maybe not. They've shocked us before.
And what they do is going to be a super big shock because like this shit's been put in motion for a year. Like, you know, they said that he was either going to win it, he was either going to walk into that event as the champion, or he was going to win the belt at that. And when he won at WrestleMania at first, I'm like, okay, he's going to go into it, but then he lost it. So if Jay beats Damian at that pay-per-view and goes to Clash of the Castle as champion and fights McIntyre, will he drop the belt, or will he? You know,
it's gonna be a toss up
because it's gonna be weird to see them go from somebody holding the belt for 4 years to have them just losing it within a month, and you know, like going back and forth.
We've seen worse.
Oh yeah,
I mean, we've seen people win on a Friday and lose the belt on a Monday.
That's happened a lot of times. People winning at a pay-per-view on a Sunday and lose it the next Monday. That's happened to a lot of people. But
and pretty big names at that.
Exactly, yeah. So that was Monday. Then we go to SmackDown on Friday, which was very interesting as well. SmackDown, you got to see, everybody was wondering what was going to happen to Paul Heyman. You know, if the Roman's leaving for a while or taking a break, what happens to Paul? Well, Paul, Jimmy Uso, and Solo show up at the event, and they go to their locker room to find out that locker room is no longer their locker room. That is now Cody's locker room because Cody is now the champion. So Solo was like, I'll take care of this, you know, and Paul Heyman was like, no, I have strict orders from the tribal chief that until the belt comes back to the tribal chief, that we lay low. Like we chill out, you know, let him take care of it.
Which shows weakness.
Exactly. So we'll fast forward and they go out to the ring. Paul Heyman's talking about, basically, Paul Heyman's giving Cody his flowers, talking about how Roman took his eyes off of the prize. Roman was too focused on his beef with Seth Rollins and not focused on his match with Cody, and basically took the L. And Solo, and then he was talking about how there needs to be how if you lose, there's punishments. And Solo kind of grabbed the mic and was like, "You're right. If you lose, there should be punishments." And he said he said there needs to be a change around here. And he looked right at his brother, looked at Jimmy, and Paul started freaking out. Paul's like, no. Roman, Roman didn't give the get-go or whatever. And Solo just kept walking towards his brother, and then he hugs him. And he whispers in his ear, you're my brother and I love you. Then he backs away very slowly. Then we get to see the debut of Tama Tonga.
Tama's a beast.
Yeah, Tama is a beast, and Tama was just ended his run with New Japan. And for those who don't know, Tama is the adopted son of Haku. He was brought into that family by Haku. So he is bloodline. So then him and Solo then go to beat the brakes off Jimmy. Like they fucked Jimmy up pretty good.
Which I saw.
All while Paul Heyman was screaming in the corner. So then Paul Heyman goes to call Roman Reigns, and Solo grabs his phone and smashes the shit out of it with his foot. And pretty much what it looked like took Paul Heyman as captive. Like took Paul Heyman.
He's being held hostage.
So then they go back and they show Paul Heyman in the doctor's room checking on Jimmy, and they show Tama walk up to him and get in his face, and Solo walks up and says, I didn't understand what he said. I think he pretty much said something along the lines of like, I'm in charge now type shit. Like, no, Tama said, he asked Tama I guess Paul had asked Tama what was going on. And because the tribal chief didn't order that. And Tama said that he did order that. The tribal chief did order that. And then that's when you see Solo walk up and kind of smile. So everybody assumes Solo had called the shots. But then I watched some more interviews today, and they're saying that Solo was taking orders from somebody else. Who could
Probably
do
The Rock.
Exactly.
It's going to be The Rock.
Exactly. So now the whole thing is going wild. Everybody's now predicting, and it makes awesome. It makes total sense, and it will be awesome. So Survivor Series is in November, which is, a couple months away. It's still a good little ways away. Survivor Series War Games, the Bloodline Part 2. You would have the return of Roman Reigns as a babyface. Then you would have the Usos with Roman, both Usos, and possibly somebody else. A lot of people were saying it might be Zilla.
I'll see that.
Versus Solo, Tama, The Rock, and Jacob Fatu.
Which I called from the get-go that The Rock was going to, take over off Roman because he lost and he looks weak. And then I look for down the road somewhere, Solo to get tired of the shit and he's going to take on Rock. And that's when they're going to start the Solo push.
Yeah. And Jay had made a comment on somebody's podcast the day of WrestleMania or the day after WrestleMania that he wants his family back together, but he said, I want my family back together, but he's like, let's try to be good guys for once and see how that works out. And I'm like, all right, that makes sense, because Roman's going to come back as a heel. So good Jay. He'll pull Jimmy over to the good side. Then you got good Roman, and then Zilla. Zilla might be a babyface when he comes through. But yeah,
I'm definitely hyped to see where it goes.
We got some good stuff coming up, man. Wrestling is going to get real interesting in the next year.
I say it's going to get interesting in the next couple months.
Yeah, they're going
Especially if you're a fan of the Bloodline.
Yeah, they're going to have to start setting up SummerSlam here soon. SummerSlam's the next big event, like the main four. But yeah, so any of you wrestling fans, you got some things to look forward to.
And when we do our SummerSlam prediction, I think we're either going to do. I think I'm going to come up to your spot for that one.
Oh yeah. So let's see. We got about 5 minutes, so we can go over about a few minutes, but got about 5 minutes or so left. We still haven't really went into the last topic because the wrestling topic was kind of long, but it still goes. I got a few more things to say on that topic. So anybody who hasn't checked this out, I'm not going to go into a lot of spoilers because there's some people that hasn't watched it yet, but right here, it's on Peacock. If you have Peacock, it's called Becoming Immortal. It's the Bray Wyatt story documentary. It's narrated by Bo Dallas, his brother, and The Undertaker. Hella good documentary. I highly suggest to watch it. If you're a fan,
watch it tonight.
Yeah. If you are a fan of wrestling in general, it dives into a lot of Bray Wyatt. Like Bo Dallas shows you behind the scenes stuff. There's interviews that have never been seen. It's very chilling. And the last part of it is very sentimental. Excellent documentary. One of the best documentaries I've seen in a while. So I definitely, please check this documentary out if you have Peacock. If you check it out, let me know what y'all think. Come back to this video and comment or hit me up on Facebook or any social media and let me know if you think it's as good as I say it is. Yeah, I definitely recommend it. Another wrestling-related movie I just checked out is The Iron Claw with Zac Efron and I don't know the guy's name, but he's the guy who played Lip in Shameless. He's also in this. It is the story about the Von Erichs and the tragedies that became that entire family. And this movie is excellent, and it will leave you on a roller coaster of emotions. There's some parts that I wish they had done differently because they did have to condense a very large story into 2 hours or 2.5 hours or whatever. But there's definitely a lot of raw emotion in this movie. Like it will take you on a roller coaster. And it's definitely another good watch. I'll be purchasing that one. And I have to really like something to purchase it anymore. And that'll definitely be one that I want to hold on to. So if you haven't, check out The Iron Claw. Like I said, it's out on video, DVD, streaming, whatever you might prefer to watch it.
I'm definitely going to give that a watch too. It looks pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah. You really don't even have to be a super huge wrestling fan, man. Like, it's just a good movie. It's got wrestling involved, of course, but it's just a really good movie overall. Like, even if it wasn't a real story, if it was fictional, it would be good. But now that you know that it's true, it's hella good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It's like, damn. All right, so moving on. We usually talk. I kind of combined a few of the movie. I was going to talk about some movies and some TV shows, but we kind of condensed some of that already. I already talked about Chucky. I talked about the documentary Bray Wyatt. And I talked about Iron Claw. There's a horror movie, a new horror movie that I just recently checked out called Imaginary. Here's the poster right here. It's a Blumhouse film, so you know it's dope. Like right off the bat, you know it's dope. It's like they set up here. It's Five Nights of Freddy meets. It's Five Nights of Freddy meets Ted meets. Fuck, I don't know. It's fucking crazy.
You won me at Five Nights of Freddy meets Ted.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. It's the synopsis, without giving shit away, you can't give it away. There's so many twists and turns in this movie, it's hard to give away. But the synopsis is basically a girl gets with this gentleman who has younger kids. The one daughter, has an imaginary friend, and you realize that this imaginary friend is not any normal imaginary friend. And this movie takes you on a ride. So I definitely highly suggest you check that out. I know it was just in cinemas. I think I found it on like Cinema HD or something like that. But it will be out.
He recommends you definitely renting it legally.
Exactly. Don't follow me. Don't follow my leads. But yeah, you can actually rent it as well. I think there's some rent options as well for it. It's not on like mainstream DVD and stuff yet, but it will be very soon. Excellent movie. And a little bit of news that excited and tickled my fancy. One of my favorite. Actually, hold on. Tickled my fancy. Guess what? No,
Fancy your tickles.
No, Diddy. Sons of Anarchy will make a return, guys. It has now been officially confirmed. Theo Rossi, Charlie Hunnam have both confirmed that there will be another Sons of Anarchy. Will we know where it's going? They haven't announced where it's actually going yet. Will it be a continuation? Will the ending be different than we anticipated it to be? Or will it be a prelude? They're not completely for sure. There's been so many rumors speculating that they might pick off where they left off. They might go back and tell the story of Jax's father. They don't know. But Jax Teller, Charlie Hunnam will be in the movie. Like he will be or in the show. He will be a character. As well as Theo Rossi, which doesn't make sense at the moment, but we'll see what they do with it. What do you think? What's your thoughts on Sons of Anarchy?
Mine?
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways they could take it, to be honest with you. I mean, just because we see Jax getting hit by, head on, I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that he died. I mean, they could play
never showed it either.
Right. They could play that. He could have pulled off and just kept riding, and his clubhouse was like, cool, whatever. Like there's all kinds of ways that they could go with that. I mean, I'm interested in it, man. Like I'm here for it. I really enjoyed Sons of Anarchy. It was probably the only TV series in history that I've got my wife to sit down and watch where she put her phone down. So I mean, it was very well received in our household.
I remember that. I remember me and her both got made fun of for the Opie situation.
Yeah, y'all cried.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I did. Damn it. Oh, Opie, god damn it, Opie. Why you gotta go out
pole.
like that? Hey, what?
I said he caught the pole.
No, did he?
No doubt. Yeah, but I mean that show, man, like it had so many ups and downs. Like it was definitely no pun intended, but it was a ride for sure. And I'm glad to hear that they're continuing it. But also, man, like if you guys haven't, make sure you watch the Mayans. The Mayans ain't no slouch either. It's interesting. It's got a lot of great characters. The backstories are dope. You see some returns of your favorite Sons of Anarchy characters. So I mean, give that a shot too.
Facts. Mayans is definitely worth the watch as well. So it looks like we kind of expired on time this week, man. We usually don't try to run over unless we have to, but
we had to because we was winded about some wrestling.
Exactly, And next week we're gonna have brand new news for y'all. We'll have some new topics. We're gonna bring y'all some absolute hysteria. Absolute hysteria. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure y'all go watch the replay. Share it to your if you're watching or you watch the replay and you enjoy, share it with your friends.
Is Share Easy's new single that is out now?
Oh yes, yeah, Forgiveness. All digital platforms. Check it out. And while we're at it, let's plug my brother here, man. If y'all haven't checked out his last album, Wolf of Oak Street, please do that as well on all digital major platforms. He's working on a new project. He's working on a new video.
Yeah, Killer Miles. You could hear samples of it running on my Facebook all the time, in my reels, in my feeds. We're working on a video for that right now and about to drop, a double disc for everybody with over, I think we're shooting for over 30 songs for the next album.
So this man's working. We working out here. We dropping. We got new music coming, new visuals. Everything's on the way. This the year of the real artists, man. We coming. We are coming. For it. Support local music. Support your local artists. It just takes a little bit of time. It's not always monetary. If you want it to be monetary, grab a shirt, grab a hat, grab a physical copy. You'll grab a
buy
ticket.
A keychain.
Buy a keychain. Yeah, buy it. It don't take a lot. And if you don't have money, we understand. Everybody's been
Absolutely.
there. Everybody's been there. So all you got to do is share, comment, play, stream the records, stream the songs. It's all free, man. You just get on social media and support. Tell your people about it. Word of mouth is one of the best forms of promotion out there. Let people know about it. Sinister Minded Music, Easy Sixosix, Kincaid, Red Raven Productions. Man, that's all there is to say about it. You tuned in to the Absolute Hysteria Podcast, episode 1.
Yay.
We out.